Hi, welcome to StoryMakers. I'm Rocco Staino, and today's Storymaker is Rita Williams-Garcia. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
We see each other all over the place.
Yes,
like
we
the
do.
National Book Awards, you've been a judge twice.
Twice.
And you've been a finalist for your first of the trilogy.
Right.
Is it fair to call these books a trilogy? Or
They're a family.
a family. Okay, we'll be talking about that in a minute, but you look terrific. You have a great dress on. I know there's a story behind this great dress.
There is indeed a story behind my dress. I started knitting it the morning that the ALA Midwinter Award announcements were being made. And I was sitting in the hall along with students and faculty at Vermont College of Fine Arts, and the simulcast was going on, and there I was, knit one, purl two. And when they showed my book for both the Coretta Scott King Author Award and the Newbery Honor Award, I was just floored. So this is the
some
result.
morning and some dress.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Now, we saw each other more recently at the National Book Foundation, where you were nice enough to stop by the New York State booth, and you were wearing the Empire State.
I was wearing the Empire State crown, and it was just lovely. The green Miss Lady Liberty just adorned my curls, and I had fun with it. It was so
and
much
lots
fun.
of people stopped and had their photo taken with
Yes,
you.
they did.
Not only with you, but with your new book, Gone
Yes.
Crazy in Alabama. And tell us what the girls are up to.
Well, it's time for the girls to head south. They have gone west, they've stayed on the East Coast. Now it's time for them to head south and spend time with not only Big Ma, but her mother, their great-grandmother, Ma Charles.
And I hear that this is the last of the books about the three girls. Was it difficult to sort of say goodbye?
Oh yeah, it was very hard, but I knew that this should be the last book and that it should kind of just all come full circle from summer to summer, because they've lived with me for so long. Delphine, Vanetta, and Fern, Big Ma, Paz, even Cecile. So it's very hard. I'm used to waking up with them every morning.
So how did you come up with the names for the three girls?
Okay, so the naming part kind of came to me. I love the sound Delphine, and I wanted to use that, and I thought, okay, this girl is going to be named Delphine. So one day I was writing a letter to my editor, and I said, and the names of the characters will be Delphine, and I didn't know what those sounds would be filled in with. But as I kept typing, I kept saying Delphine, 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 Sarah Vaughan, Delphine, Vanetta, and okay, too fancy. We need one plain. Delphine, Vanetta, and Fern. Fern. So there we have it.
You know, the book is a great family story, but it's also considered historical fiction. There were many historical moments in the book that I remember living through, and one of them was the moon landing.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Yes.
you know, it's one of the great things about writing from a period that you're familiar with. Even though it was long ago, there's something about maybe a momentous occasion that stays with you. And I do remember that Sunday night watching the moon landing with my parents, my sister and brother. It was just beyond our comprehension, but so I wanted to capture that also for these girls during this period.
Now, tell us a little bit about the writing process. When you're writing a book, you brought some material here that helps explain how you go about it.
Well, one of the things that I do every morning is I wake up and I tell myself the story first. I tell myself the whole story from start to finish, and things start to waken up for me. I start to think about all the little detail, and then I begin to write like a crazy woman. I write in a graph notebook. I like graph paper. It's neat and it lets me form little columns to write in. And I just keep going and going. And I ask myself questions along the way. I make drawings. Sometimes I have to make a little sketch of something just so that I have it in my head. In this case, in order to tell the story of Delphine's family, her entire family, I needed to draw the family tree and to know who was in the family and where they fell along the lines of, family members and which sides were they on? Were they Trotters? Were they Charles and Gaithers and so forth and so on? So I drew that in my notebook, and then there's going to be a representation of that in the actual book in the back.
Actual book,
yeah.
Right. Now you brought along one of your graph notebooks. Why don't you just show us what they look like?
Okay.
And then you brought I'll hold those other things here. We'll talk about those in a minute.
Okay, so,
So this is your
These-
graph, and why a graph notebook?
I think it helps me to think in a very linear way. It's just visual for me, and it helps me save on paper because, I'll even squeeze things inside the margins that aren't supposed to be written in. But, I tend to write more. I tend to write more when I'm in graph than when I'm writing straight across, line by line, using an entire line for one word. Yeah.
And this is the family tree here.
Yeah, well, this is
part of the
actually
family tree.
Yeah, this is actually part of the family tree. I have messier versions of it to begin with, but I had to have a starting place, which is the ancestor, the oldest ancestor that they can go back and talk about, and then I have the story of their great grandfather and the dilemma of the family, which is also kind of a family secret, but maybe not so much of a secret.
Which we learn about in the book.
Which we learn about in the book.
Well, you brought some primary source material today, and we have, what are these? Tell us what these are.
Oh my goodness. Well, these are my primary sources for to get into character and the times of the late 60s and early 70s. These are my diaries, and they go back, this is the earliest from 1967 and 68, and it has all of my silliness, as they all do, but it also notes the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King, seeing Senator Robert F. Kennedy for the first time at the airport, and also his assassination. There's the discovery of the Jackson 5 and the men landing on the moon in this diary, which is my 1969-1970 diary. This is 1970-71. And in these, I took to a lot of letter writing to everyone from, Eldridge Cleaver, fictional characters like Marcus Welby, a lot of athletes, Muhammad Ali. I was a big, and still am, a big boxing aficionado, so a lot to him, a lot to Richard Nixon, and there are some letters to publishing companies. And one of my favorite is a letter to a publishing company that eventually was absorbed by Harper Collins, which is
your publisher.
My publisher. So, so who knew? I knew.
So you always wanted to be a writer?
I always wanted to be a writer. I have story ideas in here, and just all kinds of nuttiness, just kind of dreaming about being a writer and having readers. And
so April 21st is what people call a book birthday.
Yes, it is.
Yes, and that's when Gone Crazy in Alabama comes out. And the covers of books, you can't tell a book by its cover. So what's your reaction to the cover? Did they capture the three girls?
Have they captured they being
or he or she?
Frank Morrison is the creative genius behind the look of the girls. He continues to capture them in each cover. We get their personality, the flavor of their personality, their sassiness, and I think that when we see those faces, we can't wait to leap into the story.
Well, now it's time for a new segment on StoryMakers called How Well Do You Know Your Book?
Let's play.
Yes.
All right.
So, what are the name of the two trotter cows?
The two trotter cows are Sophie and Butter.
Which actress is Vanetta compared?
Oh, I know. Okay. Vanetta is compared to Ethel Waters.
And that's a little cultural history
Yes.
for your readers.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot to Google and YouTube. Yes.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you know about product placement in movies. If you were selling product placement in the book, any companies pop out? I know one. I think I would go to Timex.
Timex is such a part of Delphine's character that I don't even think of it as belonging to the company. It belongs to its user. So, yes, it takes a licking and it keeps on ticking.
Yes.
Which actually are the first and last chapter titles in the book. Takes a licking, keeps on ticking.
And you're involved with the We Need Diverse Books project. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's great to be able to talk about it because that's one thing that we have to do. We all have to get on our soapboxes, on our social media, wherever we go, and let people know that we do need diverse books. So that's one part of it. We also have to write diverse books. Hello. So, that's yet another part. And recommend others' books so that we're not just pushing our own, but that we're really promoting books for everybody by so many people of so many different experiences. And right now there's a push to donate to that effort because there's so many kids out there who would not be able to afford a lot of those books that would truly reflect them. So that is being championed. There's so many people involved, but being championed by Cynthia Leidick-Smith.
Yeah, we're supporting We Need Diverse Books here at KidLit TV. On our website, we have a section of diverse titles.
I know, because I saw it on your website.
Well, thanks a lot for being here. It was a lot of fun.
Well, thank you, Rocco. Thank you for having me here and having my book here. We enjoyed it.
And we'll see you around.
Yes, you will.
Yes. Remember, until next time, give a kid a book in any format.